So, all right, that started. All right, so my screen is loading. Please, is it possible? Can someone just share the link on the Zoom link on the chat section? So I just copy it, send to my Google Doc, flag up my system. It's taking time to do.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Alex, this is business where I will get money. I So how much for the link sharing now?
To be okay. How Hassan has sent it.
All right, thank you so much. So let me do that now. Thank you, Mr. Al-Hassan. Okay, bye. I really apologize for taking quite more time. Loading. Emma below.
Okay, let me stop. Yeah. Let me see if I can stop the recording, then start when you're ready.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Actually, it's going to be quite unique. Thank you. So today's KD section is going to be very unique because there's actually a lot of amazing concepts we're going to look into while my screen is actually going to be shared. So in the presentation, I tried to make the section appear into two. So we have the theoretical based perspective or the meeting, and we also have the practical related aspect, which is also very amazing because it's practical and it's two things. All right, sorry. Hello, can you hear me, please? Is it audible?
Very clear.
Oh, very excellent, clear. Excellent. All right. So I'll share my screen now. Screen to be shared. All right. I'm sharing it now. All right. So it's a very amazing concept. I'm kind of like combining both of the areas of artificial intelligence with marketing. So all the tech guys in the house, thumbs up to you as well. All right. So yeah. I begin. So good morning, everyone. Good morning to you right where you are, morning, afternoon, nights, irrespective of your time zone. Welcome to today's amazing KD section. And today's KD section is very amazing because we're actually looking at sapping, vital tools that can make individuals and organizations stand out in the marketing process. All right. So I hope my video is being turned on. Just to ensure that's done. Oh, sorry. Okay.
It's not turned on.
Yeah, how about now? All right.
Okay, very fine.
Okay, so today's topic is very amazing, and the theme of the topic title is Sentiment Analysis for Strategic Social Media Marketing, a case study of Twitter and cross-platform. Don't mind the big words; it's a very simple stuff. All right. So this is a table of content, what we are all going to go through. All right, so we have the overview, we have understanding the concept, we have the theory of data pool, we have the foundation of digital social interactions, and the amazing part is the application of sentiment analysis to marketing. And as you always know, I like case studies. I like case studies a whole lot because case studies actually serve as a model to see how the concept we talk about have practical application in the real world. So with that case study, all you do is just theory. So now these are summarized overview. With over 4.5 billion people connected digitally, distance has become a myth. Now, every one of us will accept that. All right. There was a certain time when I was actually talking with some set of persons, and I told them, I said, do you know that we don't just have 7 continents? They're like, it's a lie. I'm like, we have more than 7 continents, actually. I mean, if you take the factors that defines a continent and you put all those factors together and try to extend it, you discover that we have more than just 7 continents. And the person was like, that's a lie. And he asked me, how many continents do we have? I said, we have 8 continents. I was like, that's a big lie. And he asked me, what's the 8th continent? I said, the 8th continent is actually Facebook. He was like, really? I said, yes. He said, why do I think Facebook is a continent? I said, one, because aside from the fact that it is virtual, it is a platform where you have over different categories of persons interconnected together. So you have different demographics found on Facebook. You have different localities found on Facebook. You have, in fact, you even have digital signatures and digital footprints, which of course makes you a real person in today's digital tech-driven world found on Facebook. Now I use Facebook because that's one of the largest social media platform that has one of the largest number of persons. They have a statistic actually showed that they have in every single month they have over 3.5 billion active monthly users. The chances of you not being seen in Facebook, the chances is it's less than a million, or less than 1 to a million. So in other words, if you're opening Facebook, you are getting on data platforms, you are automatically positioning yourself to be seen. People will just have to see you. You cannot hide, basically. So now that is on summarized overview. So now the summarized overview, in a way, brings an understanding why this topic is important. So if we're talking about 4.5 billion people, that is a large number. It's insane and it is good. So let's go further. Understanding the concept. So when you hear the word sentiment analysis, and it sounds like one big word, all right? You might have heard somebody saying to someone else or someone saying to you, hey, stop being sentimental, be real, stop being sentimental, be factual, stop being sentimental, be logical. Well, sentiment has to do with most times certain factors that actually makes us humans, specifically emotion related factors. All right, so our feelings, our emotions, our observations, the way we act, why we do the things we do. Now, all these things make up the whole sentiment concept. So if you combine sentiment and analysis together, sentiment analysis is basically the process of computationally identifying and categorizing options expressed in a piece of text. Now, text, especially in order to determine whether the writer's attitude towards a particular topic or product is positive, negative, or neutral. So within a social media context, we want to know, how are people actually responding to the things I put out there? Why do you think Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and most of these major platforms, they have emojis, right? The emojis are not just there for fun, basically. No, they're actually there to understand people's mood, all right? People's attitude. When you are happy, you put a smiling emoji. Yo, when you are sad, you put the sad emoji there. When you are heartbroken, you put the teary emoji there, all right? When you're full of love and excitement, you put the love emoji. So all these things are necessary, factors that helps you understand what sentiment is all about. So even in the data platform, an understanding of human behavior has come into place, all right? Now, understand the theory of data pool. So wait a minute, what in the world is data pool? Well, don't mind the big word, data and pool. In a more, let's say, in a more flexible understanding, all right? A data pool is basically a center where necessary informations are directed towards. So just like you have in a swimming pool where, or you have like, let's say in a stream or in an ocean that has 5 outlets, all the water comes into those 5 outlets down to feed one point. So when you hear the word a data pool, is a similar analogy, all right? Every single information is going in to feed a platform. And it's similar across all social media platforms we use. When you use Facebook, that's a data pool platform. When you use Instagram, that's a data pool platform. When you use Twitter, that's a data pool platform. When you use ChatGPT, that's a data pool platform. Every information you're putting out there is going to a centralized base. So for a more clear definition, a data pool in the context of digital platform is a centralized repository. What is a repository? It's a virtual storage center with open positions for data collections, serving the primary objective of a commercial and non-commercial utility. So in other words, whatever information you're putting out there can either be commercialized or can be non-commercialized. Well, in today's correct word, most of the information put out there, especially on Facebook, on Google, on LinkedIn, they're actually tools for commercial purpose. And that's why, digital marketing within that space thrives. When you have performance marketing, inorganic marketing, and all these things, they basically leverage on the information you've put out there. So by you putting out there your text, putting out there your feelings, putting out there your location, putting out there what you like, what you dislike, and all those things, all this information become a customized data avatar for you, meaning something that explains who you are. And it can either be used for free, if you give it out for free, or it can be commercialized. So somebody will use that data and sell to you. That's super interesting. Now, let's talk about Twitter. So with all that being said, fasten your seatbelt. Twitter it is. So I'm going to ask just a general question. All right. I believe every one of us here, we make use of Twitter. Well, if you're not making use of Twitter, start making use of Twitter. All right. It's very important you make use of Twitter. All right. So Twitter is a social media platform that was launched in around 2006 by Jack Dorsey. All right. Now the platform allows users to post and interact with messages known as tweets. Now, tweets are text-based posts of up to 280 characters and can include hashtags, mentions, and links. Additionally, very important, very, very important, Twitter provides advanced search functionality, very important, and API for developers for building apps and services on top of its functionality. The goal of the platform is to give people a way to quickly share and discover information, breaking news, and personal thoughts with a global audience in real time. Wow. Now, there's a whole lot of seasoned features explained in these wordings. All right. So Twitter is not just where you go and, in quotes, catch cruise, but it's still a place to catch cruise, by the way. It's not just a place where you go and you then become all serious. It's still a place where you can go and become all serious. All right. But its future basically is to connect you to a global audience, all right? A global audience, a well-structured global audience, all right? Okay, now let's drill to form a better understanding of how the process actually works. So now, we talked about the whole sentiment analysis, and our focus actually is on Twitter for now. And why is that so? The reason why I'm actually using Twitter for now is because while I was actually working on the digital solution, all right, we got to discover that other web-enabled platforms like Facebook and Instagram, all right, that APIs are not really that free or flexible enough for me to use. So we had to make use of Twitter, and thanks to Elon Musk, who is actually a very nice person, he makes nearly everything open source. All right, so right now I'm going to take you through the link to better understand sentiment analysis. So these are the practical aspects of everything we've said so far. How do you evaluate outcome? How do you evaluate people's reaction to the things you do? How do you make your marketing process data centered? Because at the very core of marketing is it's data analysis, data understanding. You're not just only trying to sell something to someone, you're trying to understand people's perception, people's feeling, people's attitude, people's perspective, people's mentality, people's belief system, people's model of the world towards the things you sell. And that's why the ultimate marketing is not just to tell people about what you sell, but to show them rather what you sell. So right now I'm going to click the link and we actually go to the practical aspect. I show you quite some couple of few things and I welcome all the questions in the world. So let's go there. I can also make this link available to everyone. I believe you can still see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right. Why is it saying site is not secured? Site is always secured.
Yes, continue the site, but at your own risk.
Yeah, I actually clicked that just now, but it looks like it's taking more time. Give me a minute. While that is loading, let me just check the main platform itself to bring that out. I have to shorten the code to Bitly. All right, so I can have that created. That's loading. Oh yeah, it's working now. All right, so now this is actually a sentiment analyzer. All right, a Twitter sentiment analyzer, a bot actually that was designed to analyze basically people's possible reaction to specific information put out there on Twitter. Now these exact bot was configured not just to be able to analyze people's feedback, but to generate resourced content that is consistent with the feedback you have gotten. So in other words, based on the feedback I get on this platform and based on the responsiveness of the people on this platform, you can then create content, all right, that can suit the behavior, the action, the attitude, all right, the interest of the people on the platform. So we're using Twitter in this case. All right, sorry, it's actually taking more time. It should load. All right. And just in case you're wondering, what were the concept that was actually used in building this? Basically, these was built using three models. It was actually developed using Python framework, right? Developed with Python rather, and the entire concept as a whole actually brought other framework into place. So it's actually taking more time. I lose on my phone. I don't know why it's taking time on my system. Let me copy and paste the link on the platform. So just in case no one can open it from their end. All right, so, okay. Please, can I try it on your end? I just posted the link. So perhaps I can continue from your end. Okay. All right. Can you try from your end? Okay, it's loading now.
Yeah, it's loading already from my end.
It's loading on your end, right?
Downloaded.
Or should I, if possible, can you share? Okay, mine is loading already. Okay, yeah. So this is it. All right. So the Twitter sentiment analyzer, and it's actually an AI marketing assistant. And I'll explain what this can do. And this is actually kind of like a digital solution I worked on. All right. So now basically all you do from here, all right, you actually work with keywords. Now every platform it's flexible with keywords. All right. So if you have taken any course on digital marketing, you have to kind of keyword, long tail keyword or short tail keyword. And the quality of results you get is a function of the keywords you use. All right. So let's say, for instance, you were to search for the word, let's say, World Cup. All right, search. You can increase the tweet limits. You can increase the search outcome as well. All right. So the moment you include the word in the search term, whatever the word is or the keyword is, when you include the keyword in the search term, you can set out for the maximum or minimum replies you want to see. You can actually set in certain conditions on the kind of replies you want to get, whether they are positive, negative, or the rest. You can increase the tweet limits, whether or not you want to get 100 tweets that have been set over a period of time, set the duration a month ago, a week ago, or the rest. The number of hearts, meaning the number of love, because Twitter is more of, I think they use more of the love emoji. All right. So let's use an example here. So World Cup, I choose here 10. Look at the minimum reply of 10, minimum tweet, let's say 50. Let's make it 50-50. All right. I'm looking at number of hearts. Let's say 10 persons. Want to make this to run a month ago. Submit. All right. So now this is the feedback based on my evaluation on 100 tweets so far. So we have, I'm going to explain each and every one of these. You have a polarity level of 0.14 and you have a subjectivity level of 0.35. The graphs are actually shown and I'm also going to interpret it right now. So basically, polarity level, basically, what does it mean? In other words, you're looking at the frequency of that particular post happening across a definite duration of time. All right, because over here we're analyzing not just only tweet that was made in a day, because I made it to be tweet that have been used over the course of a month. So every tweet that contains the word World Cup, a minimum replies of 50, a minimum retweet of 50 within the duration of 1 month. These is actually the stats review. All right, so the stat review between the duration of 1 month. All right, so you have polarity level of 0.14. Now it looks quite low. Why is that so? Well, we all know that the World Cup actually kind of like ended. All right, so Twitter actually ranks things based on how trending they are. So if you were to use a word that is actually trending at the moment and you include it there, the polarity level will be high. It means there'll be higher frequency. All right, higher frequency meaning the higher search for that specific words. All right, now subjectivity level means the number of reactiveness of people to the information. Now you have a 0.35 because the frequency level of that word that's been used has dropped. Now, if you go on Twitter and type World Cup, I mean, you don't see so much information as if you type maybe Champions League, which is actually current. So in a way, it gives you an overview of how Twitter algorithm works. Information or trends that are happening in real time get faster exposure. And in a way, not just only faster exposure, it also brings to you, who is the marketer, an understanding of how people are actually relating with these things. So that's actually the sentiment polarity. Down here, the sentiment subjectivity. Go over here, look at this. This is actually just the statistic itself, all right, based on the frequency of the word, all right. So we have, if you order it together, because you have the keywords that was used, I use a short keyword, all right. That's why you see it's grouped into either single units or you have a maximum of 3 words in here, all right. So D, the number of times the word D was used is about 109 times. All right, what the cup, the number of times it was used is about 85 times, based on how I regulated the system to give me the outcome I'm looking for. All right, so right now, top priority, well, long expression 0.20, it's short, meaning there's not much responsiveness to the whole World Cup concept again. Why? Because people has moved from World Cup and they're talking about Champions League or any other trending stuff in the world. So let me see if I can show you. Okay, yeah. So in a way, you could see, using this sentiment analyzer, you can actually go deeper to understand the content that have been generated. All right. So you could get raw data on the short-term count, show word count, show bigram, trigram, now phrase count, show tweets. Okay. Let me make that first one. Okay. So now these are the possible tweets that has been made so far and the URL. Do you see how it works? All right. So it analyzes how Twitter itself, it's functioning. All right. It provides for you insight into human-centered data on a platform, which is Twitter itself. So beyond just trying to put information there, or we are just jumping on with the tide and other stuff, you want to understand how the platform works. As a marketer, you want to leverage on data. So data-driven marketing campaign gives you the lead advantage, either as an individual or in an enterprise. So this was the platform I actually built. All right. So we actually have these. And one other advantage, again, let me talk about the platform before I end. One other advantage, again, you have is that it can also enable you to generate content that match the interest of the audience within the set platform, which is Twitter. So you have a content generator, which is an added feature that was actually synced together with the platform itself. So you can generate posts, all right? You come over here, type whatever the word content is. So let's say World Cup. Let's say you want to generate a content on, let's say, tomorrow. Sure. And then auto generate. Okay. Okay. So great. A great day. So tomorrow's a great day. Let's see the content actually generated. Okay, still running. All right. So in a nutshell, what this Twitter sentiment analyzer enables you to do is to understand people's behavior, all right, people's responsiveness, people's action on the platform, which is Twitter itself. And I did mention that I couldn't make use of other platform because of how less flexible. Sorry. Because of how less flexible it was, auto generate by itself. Because of how less flexible it was, but the key advantage you have is that with the sentiment analyzer, you are actually in the position to understand how people actually function and behave within the platform. You're also placed in the position to tailor your marketing process to match the interest of the audience within the set platform. That saves you time when you're trying to shoot every shot possible just to get that right category of people that are buying into your ideas. So without further ado, in summary, we talked about words, the advantage of data to marketing campaigns, the advantage of sentiment analyzer, which of course is focused on understanding people's responsiveness on digital platforms. We talked about data pool, and I did explain that every social platform that has people involved in these platforms serve as data pool. From Facebook to Instagram to Twitter to WhatsApp, they are data pool. They are a centralized system where all information are directed towards, right? And then we also talked about the advantage of you using a tool such as this to, analyze the behavior of people within a set social platform such as Twitter. All right, now that will be that about that. And I think the last for this section is actually to talk about case study. So the case study is going to be a question and answer stop. So without further ado, I'm going to stop here and take questions so far. So if you have any question, feel free to shoot. We are done actually. So.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Elijah.
You're welcome, sorry.
That's a very interesting presentation. So does anyone have any question to ask our presenter?
I like quite clear.
Okay.
First.
Okay, Mr. Tolu, you have a question?
No, I'm not having a question. Thank you. I was
Okay.
Really? I thought you had a question.
I don't know. I was not muted. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. So now somebody should have a question. If you don't have a question, I'll ask my question. All right. Okay, Mr. Mike, Alex, do you have a question?
I don't really have a question. Do I follow through? And I would say this is a very nice solution. It's a very nice one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. So let me ask my question now with respect to case study. All right. Don't worry. Case study is just something you can relate with. All right. So I'm going to make the question out and I'm going to ask anyone. All right. To just give an answer to the question. All right. Now, what necessary factors are to be considered? All right. In a case scenario where you actually brought into an organization and you are asked to drill through on a new product or service. All right. Now, the product and service, it's new. You are yet to define, an audience for it. You're yet to define a customer avatar for it. You're yet to define a customer buyer journey for it. All right. But it's a new product and the organization wants you to push out this product. What are the three practical steps that you can take to ensure that the necessary marketing process, if initiated, would make the product accessible to the set audience that are yet to be defined? So in other words, whatever feedback you're going to give to me will also serve as the right lenses or tool you will use in identifying those audience whose interests will match up with the product or service you are delivering to them. So now that's a case study. Number one, you are in just paraphrasing it again so you get it. You're brought into an organization, you're given a new product to push out there. You don't have a clue who the audience are, but one way or the other in marketing, we know that there's an audience for every product. So what are the three possible ways or three possible factors you can consider to ensure that when you push out this thing out there, the marketing process becomes easy for you? So who has an answer? Every one of us here, one way or the other, we are handling a product or a service. So we should actually have an answer to this question. So who's going to go? Who's going to answer? We have just 2 minutes. Is anyone going to answer or should I pick someone?
Okay. I may not be able to say the way you explained.
Yes, sir.
However, based on the application, there are some things that we are emphasizing.
Yes, sir.
And one of them was the keywords and how to search. So I would say before you can market a product, the first thing is that you should know the type of languages, the type of words that particular audience use. And that is where this solution actually comes in. It helps you to narrow down it helps you to know the trending words being used.
Yeah.
So you cannot, so you don't start using the old keywords, maybe a particular event that has happened some other time. You are now trying to introduce that product. In fact, it tells you immediately that this product is not going to be useful now. Why? Because many people are not using this particular word. And of course, through these keywords, we can actually know the reaction of people. And just as you are scrolling right here, using a solution like this can also help because you also know exactly what this audience are saying pertaining to those keywords. So you are able to narrow down, okay, fine, from the statement of this person, from the statement of this person, from the statement of this person, you're able to combine it and then fit your product to what they maybe what they will want out of it. That is if it's easy. And if it's not easy, then you know how you are going to teach it better. so it can be appealing.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, sir. And that is it actually. All right. So understand the keywords. All right. Use a platform that give you insight into data, just like what Mr. Mike did mention. All right. So know the product is one thing. Understand your product. Secondly, get the word that connects to the people you want to sell to. All right. Thirdly, have data-driven insight. Data-driven insight. So you don't shoot many darts into the open air. All right. Effective marketing is not just necessarily about trial and error. All right. It's basically about data-driven approach. All right. So I think I would stop here because of time. And I would say to everyone, wherever you are, I'll say to everyone, wherever you are, right, try to use this solution. Try it out, though right now it's actually in the most convenient version. Much more would be added to it to make it really relatable amongst other things as well. So imagine what this can do for you as a business person, or as an individual in the field of marketing, or as an individual who's trying to sell to high profile individuals on platforms like Twitter. All right. So these are tools to enable you, set your gaze well and set your targets on point. So thank you so much for your time today. I'm really grateful. And I believe that we've actually learned quite a whole lot. And most definitely other subsequent meetings we'll be having, wherever I'm actually opportune to present, I will ensure that we have solutions for whatever initiative that's been discussed. So thank you so much, Mr. Michael Alex. I'm grateful. Thank you for everyone who took out the time to attend today's section. Thank you so much. Do have a great day ahead as well. All right, over to you, Mr. Michael.
All right, thank you very much, Elijah Moses,
Sure.
for your wonderful presentation once again. So this will be the end of today's PD, and I'm wishing everyone a nice working day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.